One of the suggestions from the SPCA in Suffolk County was don't dress your pet in a costume unless you know he or she loves it.
Right.
It may put added stress on the animal. Now, let's talk about stress in an animal here.
Things that you can't imagine will cause stress in animals. Construction in the neighborhood, not even in your house. I've had it 2 doors down where it caused behavior issues in cats until the construction stopped. Little things, just anything that's out of their daily routine, anything that's abnormal. A visitor in the house, someone dies and leaves the house. Stresses them out for a while until they can adjust to that.
All right. Let me take a short break. Sam Kille with the Nassau County Red Cross, stay on the line. Officer Dave Murray, Suffolk County Police Department is here. Dr. Tim Jones of Central Vet Associates in Valley Stream is here. And if you have a Halloween safety tip, we'd love to hear it. Give us a call, 516-393-1800 is the number. We'll start taking your calls when we come back.
Either my wife or myself go around with our child to the houses because you have to be certainly careful these days.
Well, we're going to make sure that everybody stays together and we're all going to be in a group, and that's about it.
We only take them to houses that we know people, and, you know, mostly family or friends.
And there was always that one person who gave you that awful sucking candy or a penny. Welcome back to Long Island Talks on News 12 Long Island. We're going over Halloween safety tips for kids and pets as well. Joining us in the studio, Suffolk Police Officer Dave Murray. Also with us, Dr. Timothy Jones, a veterinarian at Central Veterinary Associates on Merrick Road in Valley Stream. And joining us on the phone is Sam Kille with the Nassau chapter of the American Red Cross. Let's go over, we had a screen here before. Sam, let's go over these points for viewers who may be just joining us about some of the tips here. Map out a route, bring flashlights. Again, I think this is important and bears repeating again. Accept treats at the door, do not go inside. Sam, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
What about the concept of face paint instead of masks? Everybody loves to wear a mask, but...
Well, the problem with a mask, especially with a child, you know, they don't exactly always fit perfectly. So it creates a vision problem, especially peripheral vision and vision right down below where you're stepping. So if you use face paint instead, and of course use a face paint that's hypoallergenic, you just reduce that risk of tripping and having an injury.
One of the things here we talk about, of course, is be on the lookout for drivers in cars, obviously. Wear light-colored clothing and use reflective tape so that you're visible to the drivers. Walk on the sidewalks and not in the street. One of the other things on your list here is be cautious around strange animals, especially dogs. Good advice, Dr. Jones?
Yeah, never approach a strange dog that you don't know unless the owner's present and says it's okay. Always ask. Even just reaching out to pet them, they may take that as an aggressive advance and could bite you in defense.
Now, we were talking during the break about black cats.
Black cats are a big issue on Halloween. There are a lot of people who try to steal them. If you have a black cat, and I usually tell you not to let your cats outside, it's the most safe thing to do, but if they do, definitely don't let them outside this weekend. They can be injured, even in a prank that they're not supposed to get hurt in, they can get hurt.
What have you seen?
We've seen black cats come in that were set on fire. That's probably one of the worst things. Cut, bruised, broken bones, dismembered.
Now, let's be clear on this. That's not only horrible, it's illegal.
Absolutely.
And what are we looking at from a standpoint of legal responsibility here if you are caught doing this?
It depends on where it's done,
right,
obviously, depending on the county, the town, and whatnot. But there's various laws in place to protect the animals. And if anyone comes across the carcass of an animal, it doesn't look like it's a natural death, they should call 911 right away and report that.
Animal cruelty is illegal, folks. Make sure your kids know that. It's not funny. Now, let's go on to another realm of what some people think is funny, and that is egging houses, egging cars, TPing or toilet papering the house. That's all vandalism, isn't it?
It depends. Sometimes it falls under the category of criminal tampering, or
right,
there's a wide range of laws in place that we can use to go after the people who do it.
If I call you and say, look, this kid just egged my house, and I have it on video and I show it to you, can you lock him up?
It would depend. It would depend on his age. It would depend on what was done. It would depend on any damage to the house. But typically what we find is it's the same group of, small group of kids that are going around repeating this act throughout the neighborhood.
Right.
So even though we may not be able to arrest them at that time or catch them at that time, it's always good to report it so we can go and prevent further instances of it.
With regard to the kind of stuff that goes on property, not against physical, but you know, egging a house, for example, or the shaving cream. Do you want to tell parents that's illegal not to do that? I mean, should they tell their kids don't do that?
Well, there is a danger that falls on to the parents, that if they're letting their kids go out doing these things and they know about it and they cause damage, it can come back to them. You know, especially children that are under 16.
I want to share with our audience, if I may, a secret that I have. And when we're done, I know we're talking about Halloween, but you're going to call me Scrooge. I found it very effective to turn my lawn sprinklers on Halloween. Nobody comes near the house. Shaving cream gets washed away. Egg yolks are gone. I'm not the most popular guy in town, but works really great. Sam, you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Anything else that comes to mind that we haven't mentioned yet that you want to discuss here before we wrap it up?
Well, I would say that if you're at a house and you don't want to give Halloween out to the kids, turn off your porch light. And if you're a trick-or-treater and see that there is no light on at a house, don't go up to that house. Just leave that person alone. Go on to the next house. And you know, the biggest hazards on Halloween aren't the vampires, ghosts, or pirates. It's falls, it's costume mishaps, and it's automobile accidents. So kids need to be really careful out there, and parents need to keep an eye on them.
Share one other amusing story before we run, which is there was this lady named Mrs. Lee, and I won't go any further than that. She's no longer alive, and there can be no liability here. But every year, Mrs. Lee would hang a sign on her door saying, "I'm sick, do not ring the doorbell." And my son noticed that every year it was the same sign. She just wanted to be a Scrooge about it, didn't want to give candy, and so on. So if the light's not on, and her light was never on, don't ring the bell. Any last-minute thoughts, Dr. Jones, about animals and their safety?
Just try to keep them inside and away from any harm.
And you're not working tomorrow night?
No, I'm on tonight.
And you said you were happy that you were not working tomorrow night.
Yes, I am. I don't like
Are
to
you
see
working
that.
tomorrow night?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, have a safe tour.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Dr. Tim Jones, Central Vet Associates, Police Officer Dave Murray, Suffolk County Police Department, and Sam Kille with the Nassau County Red Cross. For more information on tonight's show, visit our website at news12.com. Click on numbers and links. You're watching Long Island Talks on News 12 Long Island.